In this video, I'm going to show you a cool technique that I personally love. I'm going to be using the Winsor & Newton tube watercolour paints. I've already squeezed out a little bit, so I'm just making sure they're thoroughly mixed whenever I go to use them. I'm looking for quite a runny consistency, but not so runny that it dilutes the paint completely. I still want a good intensity of pigment. Now the other essential tool you can see there is a drinking straw. Whenever you're mixing your paints, it's essential that there are no blobs or thick or thin consistencies, and if ever you've left them for a few minutes and go back, just make sure to thoroughly mix them again because the pigment can sometimes settle. Okay, I'm just wetting the lower part of the watercolour cardstock on the left here, and I'm going to start with my pink Opera Rose, I think it's called. I'm just laying down quite a lot of paint. Okay, I'm just creating a makeshift mask so that I can mask off the other sheet of cardstock. Obviously, if you're working one at once, it doesn't matter at all. And now, using short, sharp breaths, I'm going to puff through that drinking straw and start shoving that paint and making all sorts of bursting designs along the watercolour. These sorts of designs always suggest a mystical forest to me. Now the first layer is good, but when you start adding extra layers, it becomes even better. So I go with a second load of pigmented paint and start puffing again. You can also use longer, more sustained breaths to sort of help direct the paint. Just use your creative part of your brain and decide where you're going to go with it and what's going to happen on that sheet of paper. Some of it will be controlled, some of it will be random. The mix of the two is what makes it really, really effective. Now, before they have a chance to spread too much, I am going to very quickly heat set them. Now what I'm doing is shifting my attention to the second sheet of paper, and I'm going to start this one with the blue paint. This blue, by the way, is called cerulean blue. I can't say this. Cerulean blue hue. That's easy to see, isn't it? Again, just using short, sharp blasts to create all sorts of various tree branches, explosion trails, whatever you fancy calling them. Just adding some more paint now. Okay, going to dry that one off. Switching back to the original one now, the first one that I did with the pink at the start, I'm now going to add a layer of the blue and see what happens to those colours when I start laying them on top of that pink. Drying that layer off now. Okay, that works for me. I'm going to leave that as it is, and I'm going to switch back to the second version with the blue that was the starting point. And you've probably guessed, I'm now going to add a layer of pink. Now you might think that these would turn out pretty much exactly the same, however, layering the colours in different orders does give you different tones when they actually interact with each other. So it'll be interesting to see, I think, what happens to these when it comes to the end result. Looking good already. I'll just give it one final heat setting and then we can see the results. And there we go, you can see two very different results from two similar colours. Fab. I hope you enjoyed that watercolouring technique tutorial. If you'd like to see more, then continue watching. In the meantime, please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and you'll get notification whenever there's new videos uploaded.